Today's episode of the Meet and Greet Barbecue podcast is brought to you by AOS Outdoor Kitchens. They are the South's leading outdoor kitchen design and installation specialists. Welcome to another episode of the Meet and Greet Barbecue podcast. Today we're talking to Sean from the Irish Egg. Can't wait to hear more about his story. So without much further ado, here's Sean. Hey Sean, welcome to the podcast. Please introduce yourself so everyone can know who you are.
Hi lads, my name's Sean. I'm the Irish Egg on Instagram. Thanks for having me on the podcast. Feel a bit of imposter syndrome, but for some reason you just wanted me on this. But yeah, thanks for having me.
Wanted on you for ages. I mean, we've been speaking to you in person and on Instagram for 4 years, 4 years must be.
Yeah, definitely it's been that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, first Sizzle Fest, wasn't it, that we met in person?
Yes, yeah, we went straight into rugby talk.
Yeah, well, why not?
Beer, barbecue, rugby.
the perfect trifecta.
Yeah, I think that's exactly how the conversation went. But yeah, I was always listening to your podcast, and it was funny when I ran into that Sizzle Fest. So it was a good meet up, and every Sizzle Fest since then has also been good chat, good banter.
Absolutely, yeah. It was about time we got you on. So we're keen to chat a little bit more about barbecue, but obviously you're a keen baker as well, so perhaps we can get into a bit of baking as well.
Yeah, it can be a sore subject, but yeah, no, I love. No, I'm joking. I love baking. That's what I started baking more than I suppose I was into baking before I was sort of cooking and barbecuing.
Mm-hmm. What drew you to baking in the first place? Well, what is it that attracted you to that?
I think it was when I first moved over. When I first moved over to England and wanted to have Irish soda bread.
Yeah.
Or just having sort of, because in Ireland, literally you go to every single shop, supermarket, it's there, freshly made, brown soda bread. And it was my mum, I used to always watch my mum make it. My granny used to make it every day. There's always a fresh loaf there, at least there twice a week. Just chomp away at. And then when I moved over here, there was nothing. Apart from, what was your man's name? Is it Rankin? Rankin had some.
Mm-hmm.
The chef guy. He had some, but it was processed supermarket job, didn't taste authentic. So I started baking that myself, and then that sort of grew into trying different other bits and bobs, pizza, and then started going a little bit crazy then when I met my now wife. Sort of went a little bit mad going through, because she was a massive baker herself. Doing lots of cakes and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's cool, but like I like doing bread and dough, so I started doing cinnamon rolls, which then got known to the family as Cinechons rather than Cinnabon. So but I also refined that my own recipe for that, so it was like the proper mixture of the more cream cheese and less sugar, so it's a bit more gooey and runny. And then then started going a bit more deep into baking and got a little bit fancy.
You said that as if you'd gone to a gateway drug or something.
It is. It's addictive. It is addictive once you start doing a little bit of it. I sort of dip in and out of it a bit. Sometimes you just all of a sudden just want to, I need to make a batch of donuts. And then I'll start looking at different recipes and making different custards or whatever, or try and do a mix and match of things, different recipes. Because I love chocolate, I love peanut butter, anything got to do with sweet chocolatey. That is my go-to every single time. S'more cakes. But also it mixes in with the barbecue then as well, because it's a lot of the recipes I first started baking were all American recipes, like cinnamon rolls, pumpkin pie, mud pie, sort of s'more cakes, s'more pie was all sort of in around the barbecue recipe books that I was looking at. So,
and
yeah,
just you put something up on your socials, or I saw something on your socials around like a Japanese style gingerbread house.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's definitely a far cry from doing some bread
But
and
that
donuts. I mean, that's like precision.
that was trying to get onto Bake Off. That was part of an audition cake. So you got sent you had a week. You got make a gingerbread house and a loaf of bread, and you were going to do a Zoom interview. So I was trying to think of a gingerbread house, and I went to Japan for the Rugby World Cup,
Did
and
you?
So jealous, so jealous.
So obviously before all lockdown and all the craziness that we never knew was going to happen, but I just thought of actually that'd be cool to make a gingerbread house of one of the temples. So got bits of cardboard together and figured out how to make one, and then went at it.
I
And
mean,
obviously being I'm an electrician by trade, I decided to put some lights inside it so it lit up as well.
Little consumer unit on the side.
A couple of little bits of leftover LED strip that I had, just whack it in there. So yeah.
As long as you earthed it, have you got a certificate?
Oh yeah, it was all pat tested and everything. Yeah.
I hope you named it Japan Be Tripping.
No, never thought. Actually, not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Like it.
It's terrible.
Wait, yeah,
Sean. Don't be polite.
How many minutes was that in? And he got one in.
I know.
That's my life
Unbelievable.
goal. That is.
Yeah.
Just spreading puns as far as I can. You know.
So so that was the Japanese cake interview. That's why I did that. But it was fun. I really enjoyed it. Just sort of the idea of it and how to actually assemble it and make it all stand up and be structurally sound.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it looks incredible, proper professional.
Yeah, no, that's my first time ever doing a gingerbread house. So it was, it was a bit of crack.
I know this is typically a barbecue show, but as we already, as we kind of spoke about already, we talk about beer, barbecue, and rugby. Yeah. How was Japan?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know.
Oh, absolutely amazing! Absolutely amazing! It was just the most incredible place. I'm dying to go back. Dying to go back.
Did you get to what kind of? Oh, I was going to. We'll go back to the rugby, but did you get to experience like the Asian barbecue out there and the different meats and everything?
Yeah, all the things. Like literally going around, like in Tokyo, you go down the little side streets to the markets and stuff, and they've just got like livers and all the little skewers, the yakitori grills?
Yeah.
Yakitori grills. All going. Like you just got these random little shacks, people selling stuff and glasses of plum wine that they're brewing themselves in a jar on the top on this corner of the bar, which is just put a ladle in and put it in a glass with some ice, and you're like absolutely blow the head off you, like, but it's just. And then a couple like health and safety, no health and safety whatsoever. It's like these indoor gas grills, and you're just getting your bits of meat, just grilling them yourself on the table. Like it's mad, but just the transport, the people, massive drinking culture.
Oh,
which I didn't know about. Massive. They're mad into their drinking.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely mad. So mad into their drinking that in the 7-Elevens and stuff, they sell pants and white shirts.
Wow.
Because if you're in Tokyo after, I think it's like, I can't remember what they call it, but it's like after 12 o'clock or whatever, there's no trains out of Tokyo. So if you live outside of Tokyo, you miss that train, you're not getting home. So these businessmen, whoever, who live outside the city and nowhere to stay, they just stay out on it, have a couple more drinks, probably have a little sleep, kip on a bench, 7-Eleven, buy a brand new shirt, pair of pants, and off to work they go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hardcore. I mean, so logical, right?
I know, but it's genius. It's genius. Like why? But like obviously their wives they know like, oh, you're gone, you missed the train, you're in a business meeting or whatever, you're on a night out. Just totally acceptable. And drinking on the street as well. Absolutely mad. All the games before the rugby games, everybody is just outside 7-Elevens and Family Marts and what's the other one? I can't remember now. But everybody's just going, standing outside the 7-Eleven, walking in, buying cans, standing outside, drinking, singing songs. As you go down to the stadium, every single place is all doing that. And they do that for the baseball, all the sports. That's what they do.
Right. Are you sure, like, you just weren't in Cardiff? Because I just
no. But it's like people just drink on the street. It's like, but you're not.
Yeah.
You're allowed to walk around drinking the street, but you're frowned upon eating walking around.
Really?
Yeah. You're meant to sit down and eat. Don't walk around and eat.
That again makes sense.
Which is, and also spotless city, absolutely spotless for the amount of people that are in. There's not one bit of litter on the ground. You go to the parks, spotless people but there's no bins anywhere. The only places where there are bins are 7-Elevens that you can walk in and put stuff in the bin, or at train stations and stuff. So, but there's no bins, actual litter bins on the streets.
Weird.
But everybody takes their rubbish home. Everybody takes their rubbish home with them. Everybody takes their rubbish home with them, or as you're going by, you hold on to it until you get to a bin and you put it in the bin. So it's just mind blown, absolutely mind blown. But being over there, just being able to travel across the whole city on that bullet train, or the whole country, I should say, is just so like to get from Fukuoka from one side to Tokyo in less than 6 hours.
Wow.
With a 15-20 minute stopover in Osaka. Is just mad.
Yeah.
And like be going like 300 kilometers an hour and not fit like your drink on the table is solid. None of this like phone shaker like we're used to. Like.
I was gonna say I've been on a few trains into London doing that, and you're literally like headbutting the person next to you.
After the last group stage game that I went to, before flying back home, I had to get back to Tokyo. There was it was the same time as the Scotland game, and that might have been called off or cancelled because of not tsunami.
It's like a monsoon,
monsoon, yeah. And I was like, oh my god, how am I going to get back now to Tokyo to get me flight home? So next morning I woke up really early, got to Osaka, and I got to Osaka and I was like, oh, all the screens were red. I'm like, oh, what's going to happen here? End up talking to somebody, oh, the train's delayed. I'm like, oh, right, God, how long is it delayed? 15 minutes. I was like,
that's normal for us.
That's not even delayed. That's on time. That's like just absolute mad. But how good the trains run, that if a train is delayed, as you're leaving the station, you need to go to the ticket person and get a receipt to say your train was delayed to show your employer why you're late, because it never happens.
Wow.
So so if it does happen, you've got a ticket saying this is why I'm late, boss. So it's mad. All time scheduled, everything is just even all the tubes and everything, all the exact same. Incredible. Clockwork. Go. If you get a chance to. But also, my wife was very kind and let me go alone. So it was a much cheaper trip than it would be with sort of two people or a family.
Yeah.
So when you came back, did you have like a long list of, right, this is what we need to implement here, this is what I want to do, I'm inspired by some of the cooking? What did you bring back with you in that regard?
Hangover.
Mainly just different things, like just the drink. Well, maybe the drinks that I got in love with was not just Asahi, Kirin, and what was the other? Chuhai. Chuhai are these little Alka Pops. I'm going to call them Alka Pops, but they're like a small little can, and they do them in all these different flavors. They're made by the whiskey company, Suntory.
Yeah, Suntory. Yeah.
Yeah, and
they do a bitchy, don't they? They do a bitchy whiskey, I think. Yeah.
Hibiki.
Yeah, Hibiki. Yeah.
Hibiki. Yeah. But they do loads of different ones. But they do these little cans, and they're like 9%. and they're just so much fun. You can't get them over here. I keep on trying to find. I think I might have found some Japanese online place in London that actually sell them, but they're ridiculously expensive because obviously they're importing them.
Yeah.
And because of the alcohol content in them, the price goes straight up through the roof for a small little can. But yes. But barbecue wise, no, it was mainly with just the wagyu, the wagyu beef that I ended up having a bit of that in Kobe, and yeah, to be honest, I didn't actually look at that much barbecuing over there because I went to one sort of surf and turf place, which is a bit more sort of American style.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just going around eating the different grill things, all the little different skewers you were just buying. That's all. You're just going down this little market. The little I nearly bought one though. Is it the little octopus, the little battered balls? Can't remember what they're called now.
No idea.
You buy these little trays that you put the batter in, and then you put the little bit of squid in, and then they actually turn it as it's cooking, and you make a little ball into it, and they were absolutely divine. But it's yeah, forgot to buy. But I did buy my Japanese cutting knife, the one that I have. I did do a little bit of recon of looking at knives and stuff, and then after getting back, wishing that I bought a lot more when I realized how cheap they actually were.
Yeah.
When I went to the markets and saw the markup everybody else puts on them. But yeah.
So, well, going on to barbecue, really, in that, how did you change? Obviously, you said that you went from baking to barbecue and kind of transition. So, when did that kind of passion for fire and stuff come in from baking?
Well, it was actually meeting my now wife and her family. I was saying back in Ireland, usual had like a small Weber style kettle, burning things, burgers, sausages. They always putting the chicken in the oven, pre-cooking it, taking it out, finishing it off. But then when I met my now wife, her dad is Greek Cypriot and massive barbecue family.
Yeah.
Totally. He had one of the Cyprus barbecues.
Mm-hmm.
So straight away when I met Helen, it was like Suvla, Savaki, koftas on the skewers. It was just like barbecue, prawns, just like this is mad. Like Stephen's Day, Boxing Day, was usually a big chunk of meat on the barbecue with some sort of prawns or something else. So it was just like this is sort of a bit mind blowing, really. Sort of like this is like hardcore. So seeing all that being cooked, and then I think going to LA, my first trip to America, uh, which I'm a little bit gutted about because if I knew what I know now, I would have went to a lot more places. But I wasn't. But I love barbecue food, but it wasn't like, all right, yeah, I need to go here.
Yeah.
This was like what 2014, so I don't think it wasn't as well. There probably was big places over there, but we just didn't know about them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I did a stopover in Dallas before going to LA to meet one of my best friends lives in Dallas. Well, did live in Dallas. But went to LA. Went to a friend of Helen's was having a barbecue, so she was got to there and they were doing I said, what are you cooking? She said, oh, I'm going to do a spatchcock chicken. I was like, all right, brilliant. That sounds amazing. So usual, you're going to stick it in the oven first and then finish it off in the grill. She's like, no, I'm just going to whack it on the egg. I'm like, what? So I went out there. She had big green eggs. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Cooked it. And it was like the most succulent bit of chicken I've ever had. It was just like, this is crazy. How the hell did you do that without poisoning anybody? And so that was just like mad. And then ended up getting married. Somebody was very kind enough to give us a £100 voucher for Harrods. So me and my wife were walking around Harrods looking to spend this £100 on something that wasn't just two Knickerbocker glories, cooking and all the rest of it. And they had the big green reg XL and this big mahogany table with this black slate. And I lifted the lid of it, and I was like Tim the Two Man Taylor. I don't remember that.
Yeah, Home Improvement. Yeah.
More power. And I just lifted it because the one that I seen was only sort of a small one. I think it was like a medium, or I think they do like 3 or 4 different sizes in America.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the XL, and I lifted the lid. I was like, oh yes, oh yes, I want one of these. And that's when I started getting into, first of all, saving. I think I saved for about a year.
I was going to say you'd have been done very well for £100.
Yeah, no. I started saving for about a year and started going down YouTube rabbit holes of probably my main guy was that Malcolm Reed.
Mm-hmm.
How to barbecue right. I gotta try this. So that's when everything sort of went right. This is what I'm gonna get. This is what I'm gonna have, and that's when it just all went a little bit barbecue mayhem for me.
Am I right in saying you're now doing some pop-ups, or I saw something where you've got like your own kind of branded pop-up gazebo and stuff?
Yeah.
Getting right into it.
Oh yeah, I've gone from just messing about to trying. This has been an ongoing. I think it was probably Sizzlefest 2. Sizzlefest 2. I spoke to Russ from Rusty Rubs, and I was saying to him, I had an idea. I saw this old stainless steel Foster's commercial fridge, and I seen it sitting there and nothing's happening with it. It's rubbish. I'm saying, I know I could turn that into a smoker. And he's like, what? I was like, yeah, but then like you'd be able to do anything in that. That's portable. It will go in the back of the van. You can do whatever with it. I have it all sort of pictured in my head, how to do it all. And he's like, just go for it, lad. If you think you can do it, go for it. And then that was September, 2 Sizzlefests ago. Built it. And then I think it took me probably about a year to try and do my first demo pop up. And then literally only this year now, I did my first private event, which I think was 20 adults, 20 kids using it. But now I picked up myself a Mini Max, which I use at it as well. And my new little savior is the Traeger Ranger.
Oh yeah.
So I have that on the stall as well, but I have completely all independent. So I built a battery unit for the Traeger Ranger, so I can use my work batteries on it, my Makita batteries, which is pretty cool. So I'm completely don't need generators or anything else then. So it's just wood, pellets for doing whatever, and then also I've got the other charcoal with the little Mini Max, which is it's portable enough, but I wouldn't want to try hocking it down all the way down onto a beach without some sort of a buggy or trailer.
Yeah. So is that the kind of plan for you then, trying to get in to do more sort of catering, private events, pop-ups?
Yeah, I want to do it. The last year I wasn't meant to start doing it last year, but then I ended up getting involved in a holiday let project that my wife is running, and that just turned into a lot more work than we thought it was going to do.
Yeah.
We thought like maybe 6 months, but then actually the house was so run down and needed so much more work doing to it. And because turns out I'm more handy than I thought I was, ended up doing a lot more work there, trying to save money on it.
Lucky wife.
Yeah, but it looks great. See, they put like an outside shower in, and then I've built the whole sort of a barbecue area. So you got an outside like Belfast sink and built a concrete tabletop with a hole in it for we put a Kamado grill there, and there's a Gosney rock box. So if you do, it's an Airbnb. So if you rent it out, everything is sort of there that you can just go down, go local butchers, get some bits, bring it back to the house, grill it up, cook it.
Oh, nice.
So mainly made for sort of like people who are a bit more foodie like us or whoever. Because there's nothing worse than going, oh, I want to go away, but oh, that means I have to bring this, have to bring that, put that in the car.
Yeah.
At least there, everything is sort of there ready.
Where is that?
And Cromer.
Oh,
okay,
yeah, I know
it's
Cromer.
around the coast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like the house is what, 10-minute walk to the beach.
Ideal.
So it's like 10-minute walk to the beach, 10-minute walk down to the butcher.
You've timed it.
Yeah. 15-minute walk to the place now where I can find out you can get live lobster, which is great.
So does that mean then for next year, or even later this year into next year, you're going to kind of look to start doing more of the pop-up stuff?
Yeah, I've been in touch with a couple of breweries to I need to sort out a bit more of a menu. I need to put something. I want to try out some different veggie bits because that's what they say that you need to have some sort of a veggie option.
Yeah.
So that's something that I've looked. Well, I've only looked at the veggie bits for sides, never as a main really. We do mains here, but it's not very sort of. I can put it in the smoker, or just keep the Traeger Ranger or the Mini Max separately, just for doing that cook on. So there's no sort of cross contamination.
Yeah.
So it's
are you doing it completely on your own as well, or are you normally?
Yeah, well, I've done that on my own so far, but I think if I do anything sort of big, I'll probably need somebody at least sort of manning the till if I'm doing some sort of a pay as you go. If it's a private event, yeah, if I was doing it on my own, if it's a private event, it's a lot less. I think it's a lot less pressure.
Yeah,
people are just gonna wait, queue up. Everything is sort of ready. As with the smoker that I built out of the fridge, like I can fit. Well, I did 25 baby backs in there with what 1, 2, 3, 4 trays of low and slow cubed roast potatoes, a pork shoulder. So I mean, you just rack it all in there. So it's like it's like a full size Foster's commercial fridge. So it's pretty chunky. So like literally, if you depends what type of prep you want to do. If I prep like say maybe pulled pork, my signature. I'm trying to do it as my signature dish, which is my Guinness burnt ends with mixed with pulled pork.
Yes,
nice.
Please.
We'll save that for Wheel of Barbecue Bingo. I was going to say
Wheel of Fortune.
So yeah, no. There's I don't know if you've been into Bodine's in London.
No, I haven't.
They do a thing called the Soho Special, which is burnt ends mixed with pulled pork. So I've just done an Irish twist on that and mixed in the Guinness as you're braising the burnt ends near the end.
Nice.
But yeah, so it's that's my one of my go-to bits now, and my baby back ribs, because I don't think you go to barbecues and not everybody, it's always sort of pulled pork. No one's doing like a whole rack or a half rack of ribs with a couple of sides. That's my idea. And sort of like I'll do fill it full of racks of ribs. When they're gone, they're gone. Sort of like how to do it over in America, really, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You only can do so many briskets or so many things. Once that smoker is empty, you can't really start again because people be waiting around for 4 hours.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. So at least you've kind of got a plan where obviously you've clearly spent a lot of time investing into creating a custom.
Well, that's another thing. Yeah, but that's another thing. Like the fridge I got for pretty much free. The firebox I've got an old offset on Gumtree. which I ripped the firebox off, built a little extension onto it. So it slides in. I tried to do semi-reverse smoker. So it goes into one side and then cuts across. But like, yeah, so I tried, because I've seen so many people sort of invest so much money. I've done a lot of sort of restaurant fit outs as an electrician, and watch people throw so much money into restaurants, caps, and equipment, and all the rest is just through the roof.
So easy to do, isn't it?
So it's getting like sucked into it all, and then all of a sudden, then either you don't want to do it, or it's harder than you thought it was going to be, and then you've got all this kit that is now worth probably a quarter of the price if you're lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So like my signage. If you looked on my reels, the signage is leftover wood from a job. The lettering is a couple of letters that I got on eBay, sprayed yellow to go with my logo. I was looking at hand wash stations, which I didn't realize how much a hand wash station would be. Ended up building my own out of a cheap sink and an old table, one of the little foldy up tables, a little plastic, with a little the coffee. In the offices, you have those big coffee urns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
On for meetings. Yeah, one of them. But I bought a little 18-volt water pump, so it runs on my tool batteries again. So if you press a button, and the hot water comes out. So yeah, so I'm still waiting on my hygiene rating for the council to come out to check me out. But I've been talking to a fair few people. I've got everything up in pretty much good order according to what people have told me. So
don't bother, Sean. You can probably pick up one of them off those certificates off Gumtree. Don't worry, you'll be able to get that in.
Probably.
Just make right.
Get a fakey. Just take a photograph. Take a photograph of somebody else's and print it out.
All I'm thinking is, I wish, and I'm sure you're the same, Owen, that I had a trade, because it's fascinating that you can do so much with that sort of knowledge. I would love the ability to go, look at that fridge, it's not being used. I'd love to turn that into a smoker. I can. I'd like to be able to take that Traeger Ranger and just make it work off the batteries I've got. You know.
Yeah, but everything is on YouTube. Like everything is on YouTube until you actually mess about with things. You won't do anything. Like the battery inverter. There's a guy, I watched a video on YouTube, this guy showing you how to build one. I was like, I'm giving you all the bits you need to buy. So it's like, I give you a wiring diagram how to do it. So it's like, it's either you just get into it. Same with putting in putting some underfloor heating, building a shed, building anything. There's a video, I think, isn't there a video of somebody on YouTube building a house using videos on YouTube? I mean, so it's like,
what makes me laugh is, I know Owen, he's looked at a shed once. Never would he look to build one.
But like, I think you're doing your kitchen up at the minute, so it's like you try and do as much. Like, tradespeople are expensive.
Yes, they are.
Even there's only so much goodwill you can get off your other trades friends, and so many. Oh, I owe you one, or whatever. I owe you a few points, or whatever it is. There's only so many times you can ask somebody about going, yeah, you're taking the mick now, lad. Do you know what I
mean? If you've been looking or thinking about an outdoor kitchen, then look no further than AOS Outdoor Kitchens.
They are the South's leading outdoor kitchen design and installation specialists.
Their extensive showroom is based just outside Bournemouth on the Dorset-Hampshire border, and as well as numerous in-store displays, also features a live outdoor kitchen where they cook every week on Kamado grills, pizza ovens, and all filmed and shown on YouTube.
They offer a wealth of knowledge on how to transform your patio into the most incredible outdoor dining area, with styles and options to suit every budget, and you can guarantee they will be able to create something perfectly suited to you and your home.
They stock and supply everything that you're going to need for outdoor cooking, including barbecues, Kamado ovens, pizza ovens, outdoor fridges, and every accessory that you would need to become the ultimate outdoor chef.
So if you want to make yourself the envy of your friends and neighbours, get in touch with them today to arrange a consultation and take the first step in transforming your back garden into the most incredible entertainment space.
Visit aoskitchens.co.uk.
So on the handmade side then, your home setup, talk us through that. And do you have any grills at home that you've changed or made yourself as well?
Well, me table that I built the table myself, because I don't know if you look online, a table for a Kamado grill is actually more expensive than the Kamado grill.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely ridiculous. So the one that I've built there is a couple of fence posts and a whole load of pallet wood. And then just sanded down and stained. And that's what I've had from, since I got my egg, which was what? I think it's 2016 I got it. 2016, 17, sort of, in between that. And it's still standing, still doing well.
I suppose we can't see it now because it's dark, but
Oh.
for anyone that's listening, Sean was pointing to his table, but we can't see it.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. There you go.
Bit of Norfolk charcoal underneath as well.
Yes. Keep on brand. That's too bright. Yeah, thanks to you. Actually, I wouldn't have known about that if it wasn't for your podcast.
Well, yeah, right on your doorstep, really, I suppose.
Yeah, well, like I was looking for sustainable stuff and I tried out a whole load of different ones, and then now they've gotten really big, with a lot of the butchers.
Mm-hmm.
All the butchers I use, that I'm in with now, they all stock it, so it's really, really handy. Even during winter, they stock it.
Right.
So it's like straight away, I'm like, how many bags you got? Yeah, I'll have them all. And it's actually, when you actually look at it, it's not too different to what you're paying, and it's got a really good burn. So it's that's what I'm using now at the minute. That's all I use pretty much. apart from a dirty bag for doing the burn off.
Yeah. Or if you don't like someone.
No, I wouldn't do that to anybody. No, even just like I use go down to like Macro or Booker's and get like one of the catering big bags of charcoal. They're cheap but brilliant for, they've got a really good burn and get really hot when you want to just really give your grill a good clean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know you've got the Monolith, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a Monolith. And
yeah,
how often do you do a heavy burn on yours?
Depends on what I'm cooking.
Mm-hmm.
If I've done it with like a lot of sauces and a lot of dripping, I'd usually, when the cook is finished, I throw in some
that's what I do.
Other charcoal, whack it in, open up all the vents, and just leave it until it just burns out.
I think my mild OCD,
knock the ash off.
Like my mild OCD, I tend to do it every third or fourth cook. So at the end of the third or fourth cook, I'll do a huge burn off then. But like again, a lot of people don't really wash their grills, and like you burn it off, you're losing flavor, blah 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 blah. But I always wash my grill after every single time as well, like very carefully. But I know a lot of people hate that side of barbecuing, but it just fits in a sink quite easily.
Yeah,
hot water, let it soak, off you go.
Yeah, the XL grills don't fit in anything.
Pressure washer.
No, that's what it is. Yeah, but that's why burning it off is so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I sort of can try and time it right, then I also near the end just give the grills a season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have a little bucket of oil with a brush, just right on the end, just while it's still sort of that, not probably 200 degrees. Just give it a little brush down, stops it rusting, stops. After using a wire brush in it to knock all the crud off.
Yeah, I've definitely cleaned my grill at least once.
Well, and how many years?
Oh, 10.
That's not bad going. Is that on all of the grills in your massive collection?
I gave one away
Oh,
recently.
no
I
way.
know,
I
I
know.
know.
Are you feeling
To be,
okay? Do you want to talk? Do you want to talk about it?
I do actually. Yeah,
Safe space. Safe space.
yeah. 8 years ago, I had like a Kadak. Was it Carry Chef 2? It was one that you could take camping. Weirdly enough, I don't really go camping, but anyway, I picked it up dirt cheap, um, and just wanted something to fry. Funny enough, I bought it around the time that we were getting our kitchen done in a previous house, so we was kind of using that as a way to just fry stuff, etc. Whilst we didn't have a kitchen. But yeah, I've probably had it now 5 years, and I reckon the last time I used it was about 3 years ago. So I was like,
Right.
probably should just. So I've just given it to my sister. Just she'll get a bit of
Oh,
use out of it.
so you
To
made
keep
some
it in the
space. So
family,
what?
so I can still go see it. Do you know what I mean? Give it a cuddle.
Okay. Yeah. So what's going to replace that space then?
Nothing. I am actually thinking.
Whoa.
Yes.
I am
Yes.
also thinking about getting rid of another
$1
one.
million.
Can I
Yeah.
guess? I'm guessing you're considering getting rid of the uni now you've gone across the Delevator.
Nope.
Oh wow, okay, interesting.
I've got a Broil King Keg 2000, so essentially a cast iron Kamado.
Mm. They look
I
a
have
lovely
not.
bit of kit.
Yeah, they are. Again, no different to an egg in terms of super good
Mm.
heat retention, lasts forever. You only need to use a small amount of charcoal. But again, I've just not used it. I think the problem is, I obviously the more you get, the less you use
Mhm.
each piece of
Yeah.
equipment. And at the moment, I'm just using the Delavito oven for cooking as pretty much anything I can. Um,
Really.
yeah, yeah, absolutely love it. And
It just skillet and it's just everything's on a tray or a skillet then, is it?
pretty much, yeah,
Yeah. And what, just wood fire?
yeah, just literally cooking. Yeah, I've done kind of everything. I've done nachos. I've done
All right, cool.
beef chili. I did, yeah, obviously pizzas and garlic breads and all
Yeah,
the because
yeah,
lasagnas. Just yeah.
yeah.
So I've kind of that's what I got it mid-July, and I've kind of just been
So you
solely
still you
pretty
still
much
are you
using
still
it.
addicted to your little fold over pizza sandwiches?
And do you know what? I haven't no. So I've only done that once, and to be fair, it was probably one of the best sandwiches I've ever made. And I did say to my
And
wife,
that,
right, I've got
and never did it again.
Yeah, this
yeah.
is this is so good. I'm not gonna try and bother with it again.
I just need to make some dough, and I just haven't got around to it.
What I love about that though, that's so British. This is amazing, and I'm not allowed
Yeah,
to treat myself ever
yeah,
again.
yeah.
But, yeah. So yeah, potentially reducing the collection. Ultimately, I want to do a proper outdoor kitchen,
Yeah.
um, and a bit like like with the out, you kind of get some of your grills inset into the tech counters and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Well, you can't get 10, otherwise the counter's going to be massive. So I'm going to have to
yeah.
just kind of reduce
It's
the
like it's
space,
like it's
reduce some of
gonna
the collection.
you're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm Jaws chomping along at the
Yeah,
food coming out the back.
yeah. The
Um,
yeah,
I've
no,
gone
but
the
you
other
don't have to.
way.
You can have well, like I've only got a very small garden, but now I am thinking about converting the side of the house and putting up one of those sort of pagoda things. You know, the things with the slats that
Yeah,
Yeah,
make it waterproof, and then you can also let sun in. But that's just more
faff,
work.
yeah,
faff.
Well, no, I think I probably will do it because I, at the minute, I'm completely open. I've got trees above me, so I have to always make sure that the egg is covered because you get pigeons, you get just the sap off the trees landing on it.
Yeah,
If it's raining, like I was listening to your podcast, the whole like fed up with barbecue and sort of
mm,
depression mode. And I think I think everybody felt the exact same way listening to that podcast. at that time because everybody was just, because the weather was just horrendous.
Yeah, it was bad.
I know, yeah.
That was
Well,
an
for
awful
me,
winter.
I was out working outside as well, so I was getting wet all day and probably changing my clothes twice a day during the day working. And then when I was getting home, and the thoughts of going outside,
Hmm.
and because I don't have a sheltered area, I'd have to, right, get wet. I've got a sail that I can put up, but you still have to get wet putting the sail up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't have like an awning or anything. I have to clip it and then hoist it up and then get over that way and throw it up that way. And so it's like, yeah. And then it's like, no, I just cannot be absolute. And then when there is a nice bit of weather, it's like, yeah, hoops are making a video out and I want to eat.
Yes. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
have you one of the things, as you know, Sean, we hold dear on the podcast is talking about some of the failures. Have you got any interesting stories for us? Any
Oh,
recent mishaps?
recent. Not really recent. But obviously, as I think, well, my first brisket was an absolute disaster.
Hmm.
It was more pastrami than actual brisket. It was that solid. It was awful. But I think it was probably doing pizzas, and I was like, oh, this is great. Love doing pizzas on the Big Green Egg. This is great. And I had some friends around, few drinks, had a whole little like pizza set up. They got whatever toppings they wanted. I made the pizza, cooked it, more drink. Yeah, brilliant. Everybody sitting down, cook my pizza last, close the vent, sit down, eat my pizza, chatting away, talking about the barbecue and the pizza. And everybody's going, yeah, it's such a really good idea that what you can do, like pizza and low and slow and grill. And I'm like, yeah, because it's a 3-in-1. We've got a small garden. That's the main reason why we got it, because during the whole Big Green Egg saga, my wife wanted a pizza oven, and that was
Hmm.
one of the things she wanted. I wanted a smoker. I was looking at buying a Bradley, big, the fridge Bradley one.
Yeah.
Because this is obviously before. I don't even think before the Master Touch is a Master Build.
Yeah, Master Build. Yeah.
Oh, the
The gravity
gravity
fed
fed one.
things. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think that was even out back then. Um, and obviously we still need a grill as well, but we don't have that much room to have like a big pizza oven, whatever. And that's when Big Green Egg, perfect mix. Anyway, back to the story. Sitting down having the pizza, and I'm like, going. I looked over at the Big Green Egg, and I thought I had closed all the vents. I hadn't.
Opened them
I
all.
had I had closed the top vent
All right.
and left the bottom vent open, which anybody that watches the movie called Backdraft. So
Christ.
down the bottom of the vent is literally like a blowtorch, and then my table is on fire.
Oh.
The whole side, well, it's still scorched underneath, but yeah, the whole thing was like literally a furnace. Obviously, the flames were being sucked through the charcoal, through the grill, and out towards the oxygen.
Hmm.
Frightened the absolute bejesus out of me. I was like, this is mad. Um, so yeah, so just like literally ran over, gloves on, shut the vent, and I was like, water trying to put out the fire on the table. So yeah, so that was, I never made that mistake again.
Calmly sat down and went, yes, perfect for everything.
Yeah, thank you for everything. Yeah. I think I need to get a shot of whiskey into me now. I think about how I'm going to touch up the table.
Well, worst case scenario, you could have just used it for firewood for the next time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, or just rip off some and get another pallet and replace it. Pallets are in abundance.
Yeah, the one thing you can get hold of now, right?
Yeah,
It's I haven't been barbecuing as much as I wanted to. Owen will laugh at me for mentioning it again, but like sorting out the kitchen and stuff, it's been taking up loads of time. I know I've never mentioned it, have I? Um, but I've gone out and mini fail, people might laugh at. So I bought my first bottle of gas for 7 or 8 years. I've talked about it a lot, but I wanted to move to gas for the rock box rather than
Yeah,
the wood
about
burner.
time. And listening to you going,
Yeah, I know.
seeing those little bits, what were you thinking?
Oh, like I said, I'd taken out.
Rock box straight away is just, that's why I have a rock box.
Yeah.
Because the big green egg is great for cooking pizzas and all the rest of it. But after probably about 3-4 pizzas, the stone is too hot.
Yeah.
You have to keep on trying to cool it down. It gets all messy and all the rest of it. It's like, yeah. And then once I had to go with the rock box, it was like, this is game changing. This is quick, easy, clean, boom. And hearing you talking about feeding it with wood all the time, I wanted to strangle it. It's like, put the gas attachment on it. That's what it's for. That's why it doesn't come with the wood attachment.
I even like pimped it. I took out the main bit that you put like the little bits of wood in, so I could fit logs in. Yeah, so I could put bigger bits in. But like finally went out and bought it. So I went to B&Q and they're like, oh yeah, so we get this stuff. I mentioned SoCal. I was like, oh great. So what are the options? Like, well, it's a bit different than maybe last time. So we've got 2 options. You can have what we call the 4 kilograms. Or the 11 kilograms. And there's no difference in between. And I was like, well, 4 doesn't seem like much. And there's only £10 difference. They're like, yeah. I was like, okay, I'll have the 11. Because like, yeah, cool, fine. Brings it out. And it's like the height of a desk. And I've got my son with me. And I'm like, I don't know if I can get that and a pram in the back of my car. And if I can, if it moves, is it going to write off the pram? And I was like, oh, just carry it out. It's like, you won't be able to carry it out to your car. No, we will put it on a dolly and someone else will pull it out for you because of the weight. Stick in the back of the car and the thing lowers. It's like, I thought it was 11 kilos. Like, no, that's something to do with the density of the gas, and that's not including the actual weight of the canister. Don't worry about that. I was like, God, so
you need to go to a proper garden centre and get a smaller one. I think I've got a 6 kilogram.
What, in like 8 years once I finish with that bad boy? Because I'm not wasting that. It's literally the height.
That probably will last you probably about 4 or 5 years.
It's literally the height of like the Keter XL that I've got. That's how tall it is.
So I've got an 11 kilo.
Yeah.
And I used it in less than a year.
Really?
Yeah, for the Blackstone.
Right. Well,
I think the Blackstone might use it. I mean, what size one did you have in the Blackstone?
28. So it's the 2 burner, not the 4.
Yeah. Okay, that's a lot of gas. Yeah, but you went mad on that, didn't you?
Yeah, he did go mad on it. Yeah.
He had a. So you go through your little phases.
I do. The problem is,
this is the only thing I'm doing.
Yeah, and funny enough, they are heavy, Dan. They are really heavy.
Yeah.
But one hand. What was I going to say? So I ran out of gas mid cook, and the local caravan place. There's a caravan service place just up the road, and they do the gas. And I've gone there twice, and they didn't have any, so I've just kind of stopped using my Blackstone. And I thought that I had seasoned it after the last time I used it.
Oh no!
And just put a cover on it, and I've not used it for months. So I was like, I went and got some gas the other day. They had some in, so I went and got some, and I was like, I'm going to use the Blackstone. Looked at it, I was like, it's rust. It's like got a little patch of, kind of a bit of rust. I'm going to have to scrape it back and start again and re-season it. And I was just like, I'll just put the lid on, put the cover on. I'll come back to that.
I'll come back to that later.
When the whole thing is rusted.
That was 3 weeks ago.
Jesus.
That's why I love talking to you, because you're mad.
Oh my God. So I've bought a brand new bottle of gas, but I haven't even tapped it yet.
Just a nice ornament in the garden.
Yeah.
Well, that's the one thing I love at the minute is using the little Traeger Ranger. I'm a little bit addicted to that now at the minute.
Yeah.
But I actually bring it to work.
Yeah.
And set it up. And because obviously it's health and safety wise, it's not much of a risk on proper. So, well, as long as the site foreman gets something, he's happy. he'll throw a blind eye. But it's no, it's a great little bit of kit doing. I've done everything on it now. I think I want to try a brisket on it again. The last one I did, I sort of overcooked it because I wasn't thinking, because of the heat coming from the bottom of it.
Yeah.
I sort of didn't time that right, and I kept on probing the top rather than going a bit lower.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, no, it's not ready yet. But actually, when I went into the bottom, it was like crusty. It was like burnt. But the top was still, like, it was still salvageable. Do you know what I mean? There's that brisket. That's one thing I love about brisket. You can,
Mhm.
even if you overcook it, you can still just throw it into a pot with some Guinness or
Yeah.
whatever, and it's just gonna pull apart and be beautiful, delicious, smoky, amazing. But just doing turkey crowns on it, like, yeah, it's just an awesome little portable bit of kit to be able
I
to just
was
throw that in the back
considering
of the
that.
van.
Yeah, I was considering it for ages, but I decided to go for the master-built portable instead. Go charcoal.
Yeah, you said you had that. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. I haven't actually seen one up close and personal yet.
It's again not too bad. You can, so battery powered, like four
Yeah,
AA's, but you can plug it in as well.
yeah,
So you're still getting charcoal, but just portable. But
yeah,
again, it's big enough that you can cook 10, 15 sausages on it, or so it's kind
yeah.
of ideal if you're going camping or whatever. Although
Mm,
didn't quite fit in my car, I had to take all the shelves off, so I had to kind of half take it apart just to put it back in
yeah.
in my new
Well, like
car.
with
But
that that little Ranger, like I've done pulled pork and everything. Like, got it on as soon as I get to work at like 7 o'clock in the morning. Turn it on. Come back at like, turn it on. Put the meat in. Come back at what, 10 o'clock. It's ready to wrap. Come lunchtime, we're having pulled pork sandwiches for lunch. Like,
yeah, it's still good,
it's
isn't it?
like it's. I always, well, listen to Jason Cork, and he always used to call it like, "Oh, it's cheating. It's an easy bake oven," and all the rest of it. And it's just so easy, and it's just, and the what you get out of it is so class for such an easy little bit of kit to use. It is cheating, don't get me wrong, but then it's actually being able to use it properly. I'd love to actually have a go at the bigger Traegers to see the difference in them.
Hmm.
Considering the one I've got has only got sort of the one sort of major heat source at the bottom, like.
Well, if it's that versatile, then maybe we put an extra caveat to barbecue bingo for you, considering that we are talking to someone who is a competition winning pizza maker, right? From previous Sizzle Fest.
Didn't win it. Made it finalist. Get it right.
Finalist.
Ah,
That'll
finalist.
do. That'll do.
Finalist.
But maybe if it's that versatile, we say whatever comes up in barbecue bingo, you have to do on the Ranger. I don't know. Is that more fun for you or less
Oh
fun?
yeah, no, that'd be good. That'd be all right. Depends. Yeah, depends. I was trying to remember all the stuff that was on the barbecue bingo.
Oh well,
Well,
there you go. It's up on the screen, handily for you to see. Look.
and
Yeah,
also
yeah.
we've kind of learned after what 4 years that maybe we should read out the ingredients on it so the people listening can have an idea of what might come up rather than just spinning it. So for anyone listening up there on the moment, we have pineapple, monkfish, chicken hearts, duck, Szechuan pepper, always great to say, paella, scallops, rabbit, padron peppers, frog legs, tripe, kangaroo, and vindaloo paste, and also the wonderful My Signature dish, which you touched on a little bit earlier, Sean. But you're going to stick with your
Yeah,
suggestion for My Signature dish, or are you going to change it up?
I don't know. Maybe baby back ribs is also a good one because I do my own barbecue glaze recipe.
Well, it sounds
So
like that would be the right option to go for if it lands on it. But I think Owen will have
yeah,
to give it a spin because if it doesn't land on it, then you might have to just make them for us anyway. We'll
yeah,
see.
Yeah. Right, let's give it a
yeah.
spin. Can you think of an ingredient that you'd like to add on to the list for us, so you can leave it for a next one? So you can choose whether to be naughty or not. Naughty or nice.
Santa time. I love that
Too
in
early,
summer.
too early to be saying the C word.
Oh, Jesus. Anyway, I'm going to spin it because
Owen's just had a mental breakdown. I implore people to go and watch this on YouTube, considering the action.
Making a list. He's checking it twice.
Pineapple can be naughty or nice.
Pineapple is
That's
shit.
hilarious. Well, I don't know if you looked at one of my latest reels. I did just the weekend gone. I did a pineapple pavlova.
Pineapple pavlova. Well,
Yeah,
it can't be that then.
with salted caramel rum sauce, which was pretty banging.
Yes, beautiful. Well, have a think about what you're going to do with pineapple. Tag us in when you cook it, of course.
Definitely.
Has your brain gone anywhere immediately? Or was it just thinking about what you've recently done and thinking that you wish you'd held that back?
Well, there's actually a recipe that I've wanted to do for a while, and it is a lamb al pastor.
Oh, yes, please.
But it's ridiculously expensive to do, so I might have a wee chat with a couple of my butchers, white butchers in Aylsham, Beast the Block in Cromer, and also Arthur's Butchers in Norwich.
Not that you're in competition, guys, but you know.
Not that. I'm looking for any special treatment or anything.
You'll have to send us, if they've got social media, their handles, and we'll tag them in with this episode when it launches.
Yeah. Oh, no, they're all on. But no, they are my guys. I go to sort me out with my charcoal and my meats. Depending on where I'm working or traveling to, I will pop in and say hello and get as much sort of local sourced stuff as possible.
Great. And what about this ingredient you want to leave then? Are you going to be nice, or has Owen put it very festively naughty?
See, I don't know. Is there black pudding already on there?
There is not black pudding on there.
See, but I don't know whether black or white.
I would say white.
We did have black pudding not that long ago.
Clonakilty white pudding. Keep it Irish.
Have to say, not a fan.
Not a fan. Have you tried the Irish one?
Yeah.
Clonakilty, and you don't like it?
Did you say Clonakilty one?
Clonakilty.
Yeah, I have. I love black pudding. I thought I was going to enjoy white pudding, just didn't.
No. And it was the Clonakilty one you had.
Yeah.
That was glorious.
I picked up
and appalled.
I picked up from our butcher had it in, and just.
Have you tried the Irish one? Yeah. It's crap, mate.
I'm actually shocked and appalled.
Don't worry, I like it. We're not all heathens on this podcast.
This is going to be a turner now. There's going to be a love hate on this now. Love it or hate it. Clonakilty black white pudding.
Yeah.
Well, on that point,
Cork will have you at Sizzlefest now. You know that.
I
know. He'll take you out.
He will. But it's only down the road from him where it's made.
Yeah.
We're coming to the end now.
Please,
but like,
cook it for me. Hang on, just 1 sec, Dan. Stop trying to wrap it up.
No. I want to ask you a difficult question.
If you cook it for me, Sean, then I'm sure I'll love it.
Grand. All right, I'm bringing some pre-cooked to Sizzlefest in a warm bath.
Yeah, we'll see in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Are you
Is there any difficult questions you want to ask Owen to get him back? Like, which of his children are his favourites? Like, what can you do to really get him embarrassed and feel bad now that he's besmirched white pudding?
I'll just let Cork get him at Sizzlefest. It'll be fine. Well, that'll be punishment enough.
He will destroy you, Owen, and I will record it and put it on social media for everyone to enjoy.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, no, it's been a good crack, lads.
I can't wait to see you at Sizzlefest. Are you going to any other shows or anything that people can find you at?
I'm going to Metopia this coming Saturday. I don't know what day. Yeah, this one, whatever, the Saturday show.
This will come out afterwards, but if people can retrospectively find you,
say
hello.
I'll have my Irish Egg baseball cap somewhere on my backpack or something.
Where's Sean?
Yeah.
Just spot me. Spot anything green. If you see your green hat, that's me. Or you can just go, was that crazy Irish guy?
Yes, it was, and he was fun.
Or fine, I'll be either by the bar eating me. That's probably where I'll be.
And otherwise, Sizzlefest, right? People find you there too.
Oh yes, yeah, I'll be at the fest. Can't wait. Who's going Friday night? Friday night. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Saturday night, we're going to be there. We've had mildly frustrating logistical issues, which means that we're now just down on the Saturday. But the point that we're still coming is the important part, because it looked for a little while like we might not be able to make it. So Saturday, we will be there. Yeah.
All right. I'm looking forward to this, the meetup. So that's going to be a bit of crack.
Unfortunately, my wife's been nominated for an award that is happening on the Friday. So really well done for her and her work.
Yeah,
but
that's
how
awesome.
dare she try and take me away from Sizzlefest?
Oh, well, you just have to suck it up, lad. You know what I mean? This is what being married's all about.
I've mentioned it now. She's had her moment in the sun. So yeah, but we'll be down on this. We'll be there on the Saturday. We'll have a good time. Don't worry. Don't worry.
So.
Sounds good. Well, Sean, it was great to have you on the show. Thanks ever so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Tell people where they can find you on your socials before we head off.
Yeah, just find me on Instagram, the Irish Egg. You'll see me on there somewhere. You'll see my little pop-up stand on my threads, my reels. Yeah, give us a follow. And also, if you were looking for somewhere to stay in Cromer, check out Westcliff_Cromer.
Fantastic.
If you're a little foodie.
Thanks so much, Sean. Been great to speak to you, and I'm sure at some point we'll have a proper natter another time too.
Awesome. Cheers at Sizzlefest, lads. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Sean.
Take a handy, right? Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Safe
Bye. Thank you so much, Sean. It's been great speaking to you. And if you want to know more about the Irish Egg, go onto Instagram, have a look around, see everything he's doing, and have a look at the socials as well. Again, thank you for listening to this episode of the Meet and Greet Barbecue podcast. If you haven't done already, please do like, subscribe, join us on social media, have a look at everything we're doing. And also, there's a new way to get in contact with us. You can look at it on our social pages and on the podcast, and it's leave us a message. But if you want us to get back in contact with you, leave a way that we can contact you, because it doesn't give us the way to contact you if you don't write it down in there. But yeah, thanks so much, Sean. And until next time, keep on grilling.
Today's episode is brought to you by AOS Kitchens, the South's leading outdoor kitchen design and installation specialists.